Today, I'm going to repot my pothos. It's been struggling for a while. Put it in a pot that was too big, didn't water it, some of it died. It's time to go in a smaller pot. Let's go do it.
So here's the pothos. It doesn't look too bad right now. That's because I've trimmed a lot of the dead stuff off of it. See, there's still some leaves that are affected. But this pot, at least for me and where it sits at in my house, is hard for me to keep watered at a good rate. I let it dry out far too much and then water it and let it wait. Honestly, probably a couple months before I water it again. So putting it in a smaller pot is really the right move. You'll see as I pull it out of the soil that it's in right now, pull the pothos out, the root mass on these is not all that big. It's not significant. Of course, it's enough to keep the plant alive. It's been in this pot for maybe a year, so it's not doing too bad. But the root mass is not significant. For this much soil, this large of a pot, I'd really want more root mass. So while it looks like it's the right size, it's not. So you take them all out. Some of them come out a little bit easier than others. Some of them don't. This last one here is a little bit tricky. I struggle a little bit. You don't want to dump the whole pot, but I don't want to leave any of the roots there. This one actually has some of the healthier roots of the set. So we'll move that pot and bucket away. I already have a little bit of soil in this pot. I'm using the new premium houseplant mix from Circle. I really like it so far. This is the first pot I've planted in it. It's got biochar in it, and instead of any peat. So I want to try and stay away from peat if I can, at least right now. It also appears to be a more freer flowing soil. We'll see how it works as I put more plants in it. I think it'll be good for an indoor plant. I'm going to take all of the pieces that I have right now and organize them in a way that I've got all of the roots facing the same direction. You could say I'm kind of inventorying what I have, taking an inventory of what everything looks like, making sure it's in the right shape, right orientation. So when I go to put everything in the pot, I know what I'm working with. Okay, so we'll start with this one. It's probably one of the bigger portions that we have, and then put everything else in around it. Starts to go pretty smoothly. Of course, it's a lot of pieces of pothos to put in a pot this size. I understand that. Might look like it's too small, but we're going to try it either way. Do want to trim some of this viney section off, make it a little bit easier to plant these. No need to have that viney section. Didn't have any roots anyway, so we'll cut both sides and put it in here. Putting everything in, I've got to try a couple different ways, a few different orientations to get everything in, and then I'll throw some soil right on top and tamp it down. See, this last one was a little bit tricky. It's that hook on the end that makes it hard to find a good spot for. It's got to sit in the perfect spot with the rest of the roots in here. So it's time to put in the soil. Put in a couple scoops, and then I'm going to end up tamping it down here by tapping it on the bench. Get that soil into all the nooks and crannies between all the roots. Don't want any air pockets in there, and I want it all over. Okay, so we're good for now. Let me tamp it on the bench. See how well I like it, and then I think it needs another scoop. So we'll grab another scoop. The scoop I'm using is also from Circle. It's a little plastic transplant scoop. It's been pretty nice for me so far. Like the soil, this is my first time using it, but so far I like it quite a bit. We'll see when I repot some other house plants how well it works for me. And of course, with it, with all the soil in there now, it's time to water. So I'll do a water, wait, water. This is fresh garden soil. It is pretty dry. It ships pretty dry, so that we're not shipping extra water weight with it. Nobody likes shipping extra water. And so I need to do a water weight water so that it can absorb all of the water. It can, not just sit on top. Sometimes when you water completely dry soil, it just sits on top. So, yeah, we'll wait a little bit, let it absorb, see how it looks, and then water it some more. Hoping at some point it's going to start leaking through the bottom. I do have a hole in the bottom of this pot, as in my opinion all pots should. There we go. We can see that it is going through that bottom hole there. And that's it. We're done. We're ready to go. Ready to keep this plant alive and going for a little bit longer. Thanks for watching. Go repot your plants.